Pastor Yo from Nelson Avenue. We are starting this podcast series, hoping that the things we talk about in this series will be helpful, not just to Christians, but also to others. We're in a very unique time in our lives and in human history with the COVID-19 pandemic happening, and we thought, let's try something that might address maybe questions people have, fears that they're dealing with. So stay tuned for this podcast, but also for upcoming podcasts as we seek to really listen to what maybe God's saying to us in this time. In this episode, I want to pick up this theme that I mentioned in a previous episode from Philippians chapter 4, where the author tells us, don't be anxious about anything, in every situation by prayer and petition, and then the little phrase, with thanksgiving. And I don't want to simply commend that to you and to me and say, well, let's be thankful. But I want to find some things to be thankful for, to be thinking back to the last few weeks and to think about specific things that have happened that I can give thanks for. Even with everything going on in the world, specific things that I feel kind of rising up in my heart that make me thankful. Now, these things will be different than the things you'll be thankful for. Maybe some similarities, but I recognize the things I'm thinking about could be unique, maybe very unique to my situation. But with this call to be thankful, let me just list some things that I've been reflecting on that I'm thankful for. Very specifically, about a week or two before this pandemic really hit the Vancouver area, a very small thing, but I started using the Zoom technology for a course I was taking. Now, at the time, that seemed sort of insignificant, but I realize I'm no expert at Zoom or technology, but I realized I was so thankful that I started using that technology that as we started using it in our church community, I was already a little bit aware and could use it a little bit. I'm so thankful for our church community that we decided on a particular Saturday morning that we weren't going to have service the next day, which when we made that decision, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But someone in our church community within an hour or two said, oh, I've got a Zoom account. We could use that Zoom account the next day to have a service. And so I'm so thankful for that individual, for their offer. I'm so thankful for the Zoom technology and other technologies that are allowing us to stay connected in this time. I'm so thankful for our church community. We started using this app last fall that has allowed us to be connected before the pandemic, but also during the pandemic, and is allowing people to continue the Christian virtue of generosity as we give to different organizations through this app that our church uses. I'm thankful for that. We had no idea last year that we would be using that app or relying on that app so much in this time. But now I look back and say, oh, was that just coincidence, or was that app part of its purpose to help us in this time? I'm so thankful for people, even hours, days, a week or two after all this started happening, people in our church community who started offering help, who started stepping up, who started using their gifts and their talents for the good of others and the good of this community, even though things around the world were looking dire, more and more dire. They were stepping up to help us, calling people, contacting people, helping us with our Sunday morning Zoom services. Even as I'm sitting here, someone using their gifts to make these videos. All kinds of people, all kinds of individuals who are stepping up in this time to help us. I'm also really thankful, and I'm not listening every day, but I'm really thankful for government officials, and especially in the province of British Columbia, our health officials who are helping us out. They are on the TV, they're informing us almost every day of what's happening, trying to encourage us, lead us, guide us in how we interact with each other, sometimes bringing good news to us, sometimes bringing difficult news to us. But I'm thankful. I'm really thankful for the leadership they're showing. And the list could go on, but I thought it was important for me, and then I want to commend it to you as well, to be thinking about specific things that you're thankful for in this time. Not just thankfulness generically, but what are those things as we go to God in prayer, specific things we can thank God for along with all of our petitions and our requests. And as I think about this rhythm or this discipline of thanksgiving, again, I give thanks for the book of Philippians that calls us into a life of thanksgiving, also in this particular time that we're in.